Welcome back and Happy New Year.
What's up? Happy New Year.
What's up, Mike?
What's going on, man? You good?
I'm good. I'm good.
This is fun. Look at us back in person.
Yep.
Back in person.
Yeah. We kind of figured out that maybe this is the best way to do it.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
I missed you. You know, it was fun, sitting there doing the split screen, but this is better being here in person.
Yeah. I feel your presence. You have a good vibe, Mike. We're going to go with that today.
Cheers, everybody. To the Happy New Year.
Yep. Clank. Yeah, we got a great show for you planned. Lots to talk about. There's been a lot going on, especially football. I'm excited to get into it. I know you are too.
Yes.
But let's get to your holidays. How are your holidays?
Holidays were good. Pretty low key this year. Quiet. Had a lot of family out of town, which is fine. So no complaints.
Yeah.
Things were good. I enjoyed a nice 11, 12-day stretch off from work. So
that's always a bum.
Not complaining about that at all.
Yep.
How was yours? I know you went somewhere warm.
Yes. Yeah, it was warm, kinda. No, it was nice. It was went down to see my dad and my stepmom, my stepbrother down in Florida. I had a great time. Got to stay with them for a few days. We did Christmas again with them. Can't complain. Went to Kissimmee. Actually, it's funny because I was calling it Kissimmee. Yeah, and they will correct you if you say Kissimmee. No, it's Kissimmee. You're wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. Jeez. Okay. But anyways, no, we had a good time.
Did you see Mickey Mouse while you're there?
I did not see Mickey Mouse. I was looking. My son was very obsessed with you for a bit. But no, yeah, no, it was a good time. Holidays are always good. It just fly by so quick.
Yeah, it did. That 11 days went by really fast.
It does. It really does. But that was a nice break, nice reset. So back at it. Now we're, got to get to these last few months before maybe it gets warm again because
I can't take it. It was 7 degrees when we woke up this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hell is that? That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with it. I'm already done with it. I feel like once Christmas and New Year's was over, then the cold can go too.
Yes. And we mean 7 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius for you Canadians. Okay. Yes. 7 degrees Fahrenheit.
7. Solid 7.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm done with that BS right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, you said we got a good show today and lots of football. Lots of Lions. We're going to cover the wild card games this weekend.
Yep.
Give our picks for that.
And we'll recap the Lions-Vikings game from this past weekend. Some season accomplishments for the Lions because they nailed off a lot of them.
Yes, they did. The list is quite long.
Yeah. Very special team we got. We're going to recap our playoff predictions from week 1.
We'll see how good we were. Yeah, and who we picked getting into the playoffs.
Whether we know what we're actually talking about or we need to shut the show down.
This could be the final one.
Yeah. This is going to be the telling. So, but
I don't know. You hear a lot of these NFL analysts talk. Okay, they haven't picked the freaking Lions to win a game in like 3 weeks. Okay, and they still have jobs.
That's a good point.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't care how far off we are. All right. I think we deserve to be here. If they can do it, we can do it. And they're wrong all the time.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? If the Greenberg guy is going to get an interview with the Jets, and then maybe we can fill his spot.
Why not? They need more mics out there.
Right? They need more mics.
That's right. I can't believe that he's getting an interview.
Either you're like,
that you and I get an interview. Like, okay, Brett, he knows sports a lot more than we do. Probably that's his. His 9-to-5 job. I get it.
Yeah, right.
But you're an analyst. Like, I don't know. To me, that is like that to go run a football team.
That's like George Costanza getting an interview with the Yankees. Well, actually, he did work for the Yankees at the show.
Yeah, I guess. I knows. So next year, we'll be looking for our interviews. Whatever team wants to call us in for a GM.
Yeah, we'll send you a resume. We already got it ready.
We'll be good to go.
I feel like, you and I could probably do a better job than a few of these teams, especially
I think so.
Anyways,
at least know when to call a timeout properly.
Seriously. All right, well, let's get into it, Mike. Let's get into this Lions and Vikings game.
Number one seed.
Number one seed.
We got the bye week, 15-2. Are you kidding me?
The whole, with all these injuries coming up, like we were just like, please hold on. Just please hold on for dear God. Win the division, get that number one seed, and you know what? They freaking did it. They freaking did.
And I don't know what defense that was out there, but I am mad at you.
Oh, they had Thor out there. You know what I mean? He just his hammer around and just
it up. Absolutely amazing to see them go out there and shut Minnesota down like that. Unbelievable.
You know, the game reminded me a little bit of the Michigan Ohio State, because it seems like, I don't know if we realize that, I think the Lions had beaten the Vikings 4 times in a row.
Yeah, I think that actually was the 5th.
Is it 5th?
I think it was 4 going into the game, 5 that we won that game. Yeah,
because the Vikings all season long have played pretty clean, but like that was not a clean game. They look like
we made Sam Darnold look bad.
Yeah. I mean, he could never settle his feet. He's throwing a ball over guys, around guys.
And he hit this Jefferson wide open a lot of times. I mean, Meek did a hell of a job, but he did have Jefferson open and just completely messed up.
Oh, for sure. And then even the coaching staff, too, I think their game plan was not good, because the one thing they were doing really well was running the ball. They were running the ball. I think they averaged over 6 yards a carry, and they just completely gave up on that. They're like, no, we're going to throw Sam Darnold back there, throw 41 times. Yeah, I mean, 18 of those. And just hope for the best. And he was, I feel like they never really gave him a chance to settle down. And I think Zadarius Smith, that sack early on, ever since then, it just seemed like he was seeing ghosts out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And it almost looked to me that because we went up on them, and we were always up on them, it felt like the Vikings were trying to play our game. Yes, they were trying to be the Lions.
Trying to go for it on 4th down.
They're going on 4th down, causing some calling some wacky plays.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the game saying, they're trying to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't beat it. I still don't think Minnesota would have won, but I think they would have had a better chance if they would have just stuck to who they are, what they did all season.
Yeah.
Because it looked like they were just trying to beat us at our own game, and that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You're going to do it for 2 years in a row now. These schemes that we have, I'm not even trying to trick plays, just our schemes that we have and the type of plays we run. And you're going to come out and try to do that in one game, and we'll see what happens. 0 touchdowns.
All right.
I'm mad at it.
And you know what, too? Like, when a team gets punched in the mouth and they can't respond, like that's what happens. You know what I mean? Like, if you punch a team in the mouth and they can't respond. Actually, I thought the Vikings defense played really well, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
They lit us up. That gives in. They freaking knocked it back.
Alabama lasted.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I can't believe that kid get me.
What was it? 10-6 at halftime?
Yeah. I mean, it was
Vegas was shitting themselves because they had it at like over 50-some points. We're going into halftime at 16.
Right.
I mean, I was surprised about that. I mean, I did think the Lions were going to win. I did not see it being the first half being that low.
I could have saw like a 34-31 type of game, because I thought they were just going to, like, you got Justin Jefferson, the best receiver on the planet. Like, just throw a ball. Like, the thing is, Sam Darnold couldn't even get it in his vicinity. But usually you just get it in his vicinity, he comes down with it.
Addison,
nothing.
0 yards.
Yeah. 1 reception, 0 yards.
0 yards.
If you'd have told me that, I'd be like, you're smoking crack.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we exposed them for who they are. And I honestly thought, and this game, not only did it have the division on the line, the bye week on the line, the number 1 seed, I truly believe that whoever lost that game was going to lose the first round of the playoffs.
So like that game you're going to lose twice.
Yes.
Actually,
yeah. And I thank God we didn't, because, and I didn't like thinking like that. I just felt like that was it. Right.
Yeah. Well, also too, you're going to go to LA, play the Rams. Like that's not an easy task, even for the Lions. Like if the Lions had to go to LA next week and play the Rams, like that could be a pick-up. Like as far as Vegas is, that'd be a pick-up, because I think the Rams are playing pretty well. They got the receivers back. They're still a little banged up, but like they're well coached. Like I don't see Minnesota coming out of that game.
Like, neither do I. Yeah, I think they're done. I think the Rams are going to get them.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the game. I know the division's on the line. The number 1 seat's on the line. I wasn't thinking about either of those two. I was more excited about the bye week.
Yeah.
They won, and I'm like, we got the bye week. I didn't even say number 1. I didn't say we're division champs. We got the bye week because we need the rest so
yes. Bad. Yep. And selfishly, I'm excited that I could watch football and just chill and relax.
It's a stress-free weekend.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a couple good games, but yeah, no, that was big. That was really big to knock that out, because, I mean, they're going to get Montgomery back. They're going to get some of these guys back. Anzalone's going to be 2 more weeks healthier.
Demo's coming back.
Yeah, Demo will be back.
Yeah, that is huge.
Because Gibbs was not going to survive. I mean, I know he's tough and he's this and that, but like, you're not going to survive taking hits like that and take that brunt of that carry. I mean, would he have 180 yards total? I don't know how many touches he had, but I mean, he was the offense. He was the offense.
Yes. Yeah. But you can't, as good as he is, he can't sustain that type of production. That's why him and Demo work so well together.
Yes, absolutely.
They go hand in hand. Yeah, one of them can take over a game when in the other's absence.
Yeah,
but I don't think that can go long term.
It's going to help with the because the Lions in the playoffs, they're going to have to control the possession. And with Montgomery back, that really, really helps you, especially late in these games where you need to kill the clock.
Yeah,
and put the game away. You know that you got him. You got exactly sledgehammer to go through and take it out. So
I know the beginning of the season, and I'm looking back and I'm just kind of laughing at myself. We gave our prediction on what the Lions' record was going to be, and I remember I said 12-5.
Yeah,
and I'm like, not even close. I mean, 15-2. Are you kidding me? 15 wins.
Well, let me ask you this too. Like, could you even imagine that they would have to win 15 games to lock up the number 1 seed?
No, that's also,
and it comes down to our last game.
Yeah, and you're up against Minnesota,
right?
We had 14 teams coming into that game. So okay, this is kind of off topic. It's not even in the show prep, but I thought about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, we win, we earn the number 1 seed, we get the bye week, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota drops to a 5 seed.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you feel about this? All right. So all the division winners, right? The 4 division winners, obviously you earn a playoff spot.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
But what if, okay, those 4 are in, but what if when they do the seeding, they do it by record, right? So you don't have the Rams at the number 4 spot or the Bucks at the number 3 spot, where Minnesota would actually be, I don't know what theirs and the Eagles tiebreaker would be, but Minnesota actually could be 2, or
it would be the 2 seed because Philly has 13 wins. Yeah, I think they're 13-4. Minnesota's 14.
Okay, so there you go. So, and I think that would work out. So if you win the division, you're in, no matter what. Yeah. Obviously, you get to 1 seed. How do you feel about that versus Minnesota? I mean, I hate Minnesota, but you can't take away they were 14-3.
Yeah,
and they're a 5 seed. They have a better record than the teams above them. How do you feel about if they just reseeded based off record?
I get what you're saying. And it makes some sense, but to me, I think
I'm not saying it's the right. Yeah, no, it's still what
I think you should still be rewarded for winning your division, regardless of how crappy the division is. You should still be rewarded for it. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It makes sense, but I still would stick with the current format, just because, like, for instance, like the Packers, right? They finished 11-6, right?
Yeah.
But they finished 1-5 in their division. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, I think where they're at as far as the 7 seed, right? Yeah, they're the 7 seed. Yeah, that's where they belong.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, like, I see what you're saying. I think I don't value Minnesota. Like, I don't value Minnesota as, I don't think they're better than Philly. They're definitely not better than the Lions.
I think let's take away the fact that it's just the Vikings. If I told you teams A, B, C, D, and E, right, all make the playoffs, but team E is, the 5th seed with a better record than team B. Like, take away, because if it would have happened to us, if we would have lost and would have been the 5th seed, maybe we're having a different conversation, and maybe, you're looking at it as, oh, the Vikings don't deserve to be there, but we would still deserve to be in the 2 seed if we had lost that game.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the Vikings, just any team.
Just record-wise. Yeah.
Record-wise. So I know why they do it the way they do it. I wonder if that's something maybe they look into, or you win the division, you deserve one of the top 4 seeds. And, that's where it's at, right?
I guarantee you it's going to come to some consideration that they might tweak something after what happened this year. But this year was just so weird because you look at the 10 worst teams. I was looking at the draft order. All 10 of the how do you want to say it? The first 10 teams to draft, they all had 5 wins or less.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah, and when you have so many teams that have 11 or 12 plus.
Yes, there was no middle ground anymore. It's just like you had shitty, and then you had really good. But I think because there were so many really shitty teams, you had teams that looked better than they were, like Minnesota.
Yes,
you know what I mean, and maybe like the Packers. So I don't know. I'm good with the format as is right now. But it's an interesting question.
Yeah, it's something to think about. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right. So we finished 15-2.
Holy shit. And we were at plus 200 point difference.
Just 222.
Yeah.
Best in the NFL this year. We haven't been the points leader since I think it was 1952. Point differential leader.
Wow.
I don't know what that number was, but
I don't even think they were throwing forward passes back then.
yeah, probably not. So I have I want to go through some of our season accomplishments and then kind of talk about a couple points. So I'm going to run through a couple of these. A lot of these, obviously, we know. I'll rip off a couple of these real quick. Back-to-back division champs, first time ever in franchise history. 15 wins. We're only the 9th team to ever do that in the NFL. Another franchise record.
Wait, you said the 9th team ever?
Yeah. In NFL history, I ever had to have 15 wins.
Wow.
8-0 on the road.
Yeah.
Which is
amazing.
Huge.
And there's a stat that I heard. So I think only 8 or 9 teams have ever done that. And 5 of them have won the Super Bowl.
And a lot of these stats that I'm giving off, it's all less than 10 teams that have been in these NFL records if we are not at the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like this next one, 564 points scored. Franchise record, 4th in the NFL in history.
Granted, they do 17 games now, but it's still awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
It's still awesome. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but
wow, fine, whatever. I was just trying to read out some stats. I'm sorry. Plus 222, but you 17 years.
Oh, that okay. I deserve a timeout. I'm giving enough to my toddler. It's my turn.
6,962 total yards.
Wow.
6th in NFL history.
Wow.
Obviously, we know about Gibbs, 20 touchdowns.
Yep. Is that our first in franchise history?
That's the most in franchise history.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So he had 9. Yeah, he had Barry and
Herman Moore. Maybe no.
Well, Barry, it was another running back. I can't remember. I should have wrote it down.
Billy Sims? No.
He was closer, more of our era.
Jamal Williams?
Yes, Jamal Williams. Yeah, he had 17.
Yeah.
So he finished with 20. That's obviously receiving and
right. He had 16 rushing for receiving.
Yes. Yeah.
Gibbs. I laugh every time I see him play because I always revert back to when we drafted him because I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
Oh, yeah.
Drafting a running back.
Everybody was wondering what the hell.
Dude, he's a stud. He's electrifying. I could not imagine this team without him.
No.
He is so good.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And I've always been one, and I'll call myself out when it's time. I've always been one that saying that, running backs are no longer a part of the game anymore. I mean, obviously you have a few, but there was 16 running backs this year that had over 1,000 yards.
Really?
16.
Wow.
That is a huge number.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I did not know.
And I've always been one to say, we don't pay running backs. Don't give them the money. Well,
do you think it's flipping? Do you think the game is starting to maybe balance out?
I think it's becoming more balanced. I think that's coming back to where it was in 2003, 4, 5, 6. So it was the game of the running.
Sure. Ladainian Tomlinson.
Yes. Edgerrin James.
Yes.
Those guys. Yes.
So Frank Gore's. Yeah.
I think it's kind of coming back to that. The receivers aren't going anywhere. I think we're just going to see more yardage.
Yeah.
By these teams.
Yeah.
This next one I had, this is one of my favorite. We had 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, scrimmage yards for just 2 running backs, Demo and Gibbs. That hasn't happened since the 2006 Chargers.
Wow.
We were just talking about
Breeze and Ladainian days, right?
Yeah.
That have been they were on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we get into some record breaking here. So 9 games, Jared Goff was 75% or better in his pass completion. He passes Tom Brady for the most in a single season in NFL history. So he is now the leader for the most games
with
75% or better.
Wow.
Goff's a stud.
That's amazing.
Another Goff one, 72.4% of his completions. That's of all season. He was at 72.4. 4th in NFL history.
Wow. That's the 4th highest in NFL history?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So anybody hating on golf has
No.
some apologies to hand out for sure.
That's crazy, dude. Who's if you don't do you know who number 1 is by chance?
I do not.
Okay.
No.
I
I was just kind of going through some of
probably Slaney or
that would be good to look at.
Okay.
This is Goff's 3rd season where he recorded 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns. Only 5 other quarterbacks have ever done that.
Wow.
With doing that 3 seasons. Mahomes, Manning, Peyton Manning, not Eli.
Of course.
Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Dan Fouts.
This is some damn good company to be involved with.
And then another one that I thought was really interesting was 148 completed receptions for Laporta in his first 2 seasons. That's the most for any tight end in the NFL history.
No shit.
Yes. Yeah. So those are some. I came across this site that was giving off all these different stats and stuff, and you don't know about that during the season.
No, you don't see that. Like, actually, a lot of those are very surprising. Laporta too had a quiet season. Like,
he did have a very
good but quiet season.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Not like last year.
No, I don't think everybody was expecting him to get there and be better. But like, I think what he did this year was where you want him. Like, where you kind of want him.
Yes.
He was heavily involved in the offense. He's a great blocker. I mean, like, he's a stud too. But then J-Mo. I don't think a lot of people realize he got 1,001 yards. And I think you were telling me, was it you or somebody at work was telling me they inserted him into the game late to get those last couple of yards to put him over that mark.
Yeah, because we wanted to be one of those teams that have 4 guys that had 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
Yep.
That's funny you brought up Django, because I remember at the beginning of our the season, we did a podcast of who we were looking forward to, what we were expecting from players.
Yeah.
I remember one thing I said was, I need to see more from
J-Mo. Yeah.
Right? So here, his 2023, I can go through these quickly. His 2023 stats, he had 24 receptions, 354 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what I said back in, the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I do remember saying I wanted him to double everything.
Okay.
Double that.
Yeah.
Well, he blew those numbers out of the water. 58 receptions this year.
Yep.
1,001 yards.
Yep.
And 7 touchdowns. So they pretty much almost over double, almost tripled everything that.
I think he was, so obviously he missed 2 games because he was suspended, right? For that.
Yeah.
And then he had, his, yards per reception was like 17.3, which I think was like 5th. Yeah. 5th in the league, which is, he had a great year.
Well, you know what J-Mo does? Makes big plays and gets fines. That's all he does. Big plays and gets fines.
I don't care. Just keep it up, for God's sakes. No, it
was just an overall impressive season to watch these guys. I mean, we averaged 30 some points a game. Just unbelievable by this team to do that week in and week out. Yeah, our defense struggled. Right, I bashed on our defense a little bit myself too. Right, they showed up against the Vikings, but it was a concern that we should have had.
Yeah.
But they showed up when it mattered, and even when we were giving up 30 points in that couple 3-4 game stretch where we were giving up there, our offense was like, "Don't worry, we got this, guys."
Yeah.
Goff and the receivers and the running backs all took care of business and was able to go out there and get our dubs for us.
Yeah, and the offense is like. Obviously it's a part of the best in franchise history. And the one thing that they can do really well too is they can hold on to the ball, they can possess the ball, but then they can also hit you deep. Yeah, at their big play. But if they want to just go out and line up and run the ball 10 straight times and kill the clock, they can do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what sets this offense apart and helps your defense. And the thing with the defense, like I know the defense got gashed at times, but the one saving grace with the defense is that they're physical. And, you've seen a lot of teams this year. I think the Vikings are one of them. Like, they'll punch you in the mouth and then teams aren't responding.
Right.
And then we get turnovers. Like, the one thing that impressed me with was the Niners game. We were getting gashed that first half.
Everybody was wide open at the 49ers.
And then you know what they did? And Glenn made an adjustment, put Kirby in the center field. He's like, all right, we are center fielder right now. Go get the ball. Yeah, and we had 2 picks in the second half to completely just shut them down. So, they got
Kirby Blizzard. Hats off to you. 9 interceptions, led the NFL in interceptions this year.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I think he gets snubbed for the Pro Bowl too, which is nonsense. Like,
Did he really? And we put 7 guys in the Pro Bowl.
yeah. I think we're the second lead-in team with that, right behind the Ravens. So now, good for him. Good for them. Your boy Branch is in. You know, he's
yeah. Love Branch.
Yeah, but
no, it was great. I mean, I can't really get over how great this season was.
I think it way above exceeded our expectations. Way exceeded.
So you look at, okay, we went 15-2 with the defense that we had.
And then a best division by far.
By far. 3 teams are in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you get everybody back on the defense?
Yeah. I know.
You know what I'm saying? If you get our defensive line, right, you get Hutch back, you get McNeil back, right? You get Carlton Davis back, you get Barnes back, Rodriguez back, you get all these guys back. Well, what's going to happen out there then? Like, how good are we going to be?
Yeah. I'm
excited. We're going to be winning games 40-14.
Yeah.
Instead of 40-30.
I'm a little pessimistic as far as who we're going to get back. If Hutch comes back, it'd be a miracle. I wouldn't rule it out because the guy is.
Well, I mean, like next season.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I don't expect any of those guys back this year. I'm just saying next year when we come in with a healthy defense, what are we going to do to these other teams?
No, I think the Lions got control of the North for a while. Yes, we've got these guys locked up. You know what I mean? We're going to have Zadarius Smith again next year, too. We're going to have Hutch on the opposite side, McNeil, Reader. Hell yeah. Like, we're good. We're good for one. Branch, second-year player. He's going to be better next year. Kirby Joseph's got a 3rd-year player. He's going to be better next year. Like, all these guys are still young, but they're still going to be better.
Yeah, and we're not going to have this team forever because contracts are going to come up. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to afford everybody. So let's get it done now. We have a window. We got a solid 3-4 year window.
I'm confident that they're going to get it done.
And if we remember, you hear a lot of talk about, you got a small window. This is the first year the window is open. Remember last year, all we wanted to do was make the playoffs and get a win. We weren't even a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
We weren't even us. We weren't even a contender ourselves. We weren't thinking we were a Super Bowl contender. Now, I said it before, we pried that window open last year.
Yeah.
And made last year at the end of the season an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. But that wasn't, this is the first year.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, forget that. And they're like, okay, well, we missed it last year, but we weren't supposed to be there last year. We're supposed to be here this year, right? Yeah. So the window just starts this year. So that 3-4 window started this year.
Yeah. I drive home from work the other day because I was thinking, the Lions and the Niners played in the NFC championship game last year, and then they played a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was comparing the Lions to the Niners. And I'm like, man, and I know the Niners have made the Super Bowl a few times, but they've tried to patchwork it with these quarterbacks, GG. I don't think Brock Purdy's the answer. But I look at the Lions, what they have going on, I'm like, I feel way better about the Lions getting it done over the Niners. I mean, obviously, I think the Niners window might be closed. I think they might be done. I mean, they're going to try and pay Purdy probably. McCaffrey's approaching 30. Kittle's over 30. Like, all these guys are getting old. Trent Williams, like, all these guys are old. Like, and they really botched. And they had the 2nd or 3rd overall pick at one point. They took Trey Lance, completely botched it.
He played, but he never.
He's a stringer of the Cowboys right now. It's just like, thank God we didn't go that route. Like, we're in way better shape.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might see that team start to break up a little bit.
I think so. Yeah. I still like
when they're going away from their defensive coordinator. They're splitting.
Yeah. They offered the job to Saleh again because Saleh had it.
Okay.
Or he had to the Jets job. So no. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. So
yeah, very good season, and it ain't over yet. It is not over yet. So one thing that we wanted to do was go back and look at how good we were able to call our playoff predictions. Teams were going to make it. So I know you have it pulled up.
Yep.
So why don't you go ahead and run us through how many we got?
How many we got? All right.
How many we got right? How many we, all right. Right. So we got what teams were we got correct to make the playoffs, and which teams we got correct winning the division and stuff.
All right, let me get this pulled up. Give me 1 second because there's something else I want to pull up here too. Everybody just sit tight, play your Jeopardy music or whatever.
That sound.
So this is going to determine whether the mics and the mics should continue, or if we need to probably close up shop and maybe start like a jazz channel or something. And pillow talk.
Hey, ladies.
We can do it. All right, hold on a second. Okay. All right, so let's start with the AFC, right? So in the AFC, we'll start with you, Mikey.
Okay.
So for the AFC, you had the Bills winning the AFC East. You had the Ravens winning the North. You had the Texans winning the South, and then you had the Chiefs winning the West. So congratulations, you got all those right. Good for you.
Well, wait, the Dolphins didn't win though.
But you had I had to do so here.
Yeah. So this is your record. So I nailed those.
You nailed the AFC division winners.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But man, did I flop on the wild card.
You had the Ravens as the number 1 seed, which was pretty. They got 3 seeds, so that was
Chiefs got it.
Yeah, Chiefs got it. Which
they go out of the division.
Yeah. So and then for the wild card, you had the Dolphins, Jags, and Bengals. So not so good. You might want to take a drink.
What the hell was I thinking the Jags were going to be in there?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think, and I knew a lot of people did. A lot of people predicted the Jags.
And I feel bad for the Bengals because Joe Burrow had one of the best seasons.
Oh my God!
Imagine for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Feel bad.
He's a stud, and it's a really a shame with that. So all right, now let's go to
your AFC.
Let's do my AFC now. I had for the AFC East, I had the Dolphins winning it.
Yeah.
And then the North, I had the Ravens. Okay, I did get that
correct.
I had the Chiefs winning the West, and then I had the Texans winning the South, and I predicted the Chiefs would get the number 1 seed. So I did get that. Totally botched the.
So I think right out the gate we can come back for one more week.
I think we're.
I'm doing your wild card.
All right,
Jesus.
My wild card I had the Bills, Chargers, and Steelers. So I actually did.
You nailed it.
I did pretty good.
So you did better than me in the AFC. Because I nailed the divisions, but completely missed every wild card team. And you got.
But you got the. I mean, the nail.
You only missed one team.
Yeah. Not bad. I'll take it.
Okay. All right. What do we got? NFC.
All right. So for the NFC, for the division winners, you had the Eagles. Okay. Good job. You had the Eagles winning the East. You had the Lions winning the North. Check. You had the Bucks winning the South. Check. Good job. And you had the Niners winning the West.
Eight as the number 1 seed.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, everybody's probably going there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. See, whatever. And then for the wild card, we had the boys, Cowboys, Falcons, and then the Rams.
Got that one right. Okay, so not bad.
Not bad.
Four out of the
well, actually,
teams.
If you look at it, you nailed 7 out of the 8 division winners. That's pretty damn good.
Okay, yeah,
that's pretty damn good. Okay. Yeah. So you can maintain.
I like that we saved all this because this is fun to go back and see. Okay, so
it is.
We kind of know what we're talking about.
Yep.
All right, how'd you do?
Well, NFC not so good.
Oh, I
might need to fill up my resume.
Next week we're all hosting interviews for another week.
I think I might on the mic. I'll be sweeping the floors. I had the Cowboys winning the East. I had the Falcons winning the South. I had the Lions winning the North, and I had the Niners winning the West. And I had the Niners as the number 1 seed. Yeah.
Okay, so you can save yourself with the wild card here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the wild card, I had the Eagles, Bucks, and Rams.
So, okay, so you got 4 teams. You just had them out of all your wild cards ended up being division winners.
Yes, that's true. So I guess I'm not that far off. Okay, we I guess you and I kind of actually the Falcons weren't that far away, but I think we anticipated the Falcons being much better with
Cousins going there having Bijan Robinson.
Yeah,
great deal. And I thought they were gonna be a decent team. I didn't think that
they would struggle.
I didn't think that Baker Mayfield was gonna go off again for another season.
Yeah,
right.
He quietly had a really, really good year.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year.
His numbers were comparable to Goff. I mean, I'm not saying he was better than Goff. I'm not saying that I did silly Goff's a way better quarterback, but his numbers were comparable if you guys want to look. But yeah.
Okay, so in our defense on the teams that didn't make it in, okay, right? But we just talked about the Falcons. Now we both had them in, but they didn't. Right? Yeah, that was just nobody made on our part. They just weren't that good. The Niners. Well, let's give it. Their team completely fell apart.
Yeah, they had a lot of injuries.
Right?
Yeah, McCaffrey going down.
But you know who else had a lot of injuries and still ended up with the number 1 seed and division winners and the bye week and 15-2 and the best record in franchise history and back-to-back division champs?
The Chiefs.
You're going to try Lions. So, you know what?
Yeah.
Forget that excuses.
They
He did it.
don't have MCDC, so it is what it is. But yeah. What was I going to say? The Cowboys too. Like we both had the Cowboys in the playoffs, but they're just a dumpster fire. So
I think I'm just never going to pick the Cowboys ever.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's probably fair. That's probably fair, especially as long as Jerry.
And the Dolphins, I mean, I thought they had a good chance. They almost made it in, but they had to rely on other teams losing, and it just didn't work out in their favor in the last week. So not too far off on either of our sides of them making it.
Right. You know what? The Dolphins probably would have made it if Tua would. I don't know how long he was out for. He was out for a while.
Oh, yeah, with his concussion. Yeah.
He was out a long time. So, and they damn near scooped in.
Yeah.
So,
you know, and then the Jags on my part, it's just a bad call.
You know, a lot of people pick the Jags to be better this year. Like it's just sometimes teams just lose it. You know, just freaking fall off.
Yeah.
Injuries and just broken culture, whatever. But
exactly.
All right, well, that was fun. I think actually we did pretty good.
I think we did pretty good
because you had some highlights. You hit 7 out of your 8 division winners. Like that's really, really good.
Yeah,
and I did pretty well on the AFC is predicting the
whether they were a division winner or not. You almost got all the teams in to the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was good.
So we did pretty good. That would be fun. We should continue doing that.
Yeah, we gotta check our receipts or whatever on what we call out early in the seasons.
Absolutely.
So that's good because that's going to lead us right into wild card weekend this weekend. The playoffs are here. We're ready to go.
We can kick back, watch without any stress, figure out who the Lions are going to play, figure out who the Lions are going to let these teams beat the shit out of each other.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go through. We're going to give our predictions for each game.
Yep.
So you want to start with the AFC?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so let's go the first match. Now again, I don't know. I didn't have who plays on Saturday, Sunday. I know
that's fine.
AFC's playing Saturday mostly. That doesn't matter. Let's get into it. Number 7 Broncos versus number 2 Bills.
Okay.
What do you got? I mean, I don't think this one seems pretty easy for me.
I got Buffalo. Yeah. And the spread of that game too is like almost. I think it's 8 or 9 points. That's a lot for a playoff.
And you know, Bo Nix for the Broncos, he's playing pretty well, but there's nothing you're going to do against Josh Allen in that offense.
No, that's just I don't see that one being close.
No.
So yeah, I'm with you there.
The next game that's on the docket is the number 6 Steelers versus number 3 Ravens.
Yeah, I think we pretty much know where we're going there, right?
Yeah. So this one I have. This is one of those. From, you know, being a professional sports analyst now, since I had 7 out of my 8 division winners. I think honestly the Ravens are going to get. Now the Ravens and Steelers always have good games together. I do think the Ravens are gonna win that game. But I personally would like to see the Steelers win. Like my heart, I want to see the Steelers win, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Ravens take that one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at that that game right now. The Ravens are favored by 9.5 points. I think the Steelers are kind of like they peaked earlier in the season, and they're not playing that well. The Ravens are playing really well. It's in Baltimore. Like I don't know if I see that one being close. I agree with you. I don't want to see the Ravens advance because I mean we're looking at it from a Lions standpoint. We don't want to play them. They look like a pain in the ass. So yeah, I going Ravens, hoping for Steelers.
Yes, exactly.
And you know what? You never know. Sometimes in these games, I love Tomlin as a coach.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And a couple breaks, and this game could flip.
It could. You know, and you got to think, and not to get too far off topic and talk Steeler football, but Tomlin he's never had a losing season as a coach, which as a Steelers fan,
easy.
That's got to feel awesome for them to go in every season knowing that you have a legit chance of going, maybe not to the Super Bowl, but you're going to make the playoffs. But how long does that last for Tomlin?
Yeah.
Right? Yes, you're a winning coach. You never had a losing record, which means your career is a winning record. But is there ever a time for, I don't have the answer to that, but like, as a city, when do you start asking for him to be on the hot seat? Like, yes, you're in the playoffs every single year, but you also don't do anything every single year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something to think about.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like, with Tomlin, like, I don't know if it's necessarily him. They haven't really given him a quarterback since Roethlisberger. Like,
This is true.
if you like,
Yeah.
they need to go all in on a quarterback. And the problem is they keep winning year after year, so they don't get a high draft pick. But they may kind of have to sell their soul, move up in the draft or something like that, or whatever, if they want to advance. But I like Tomlin as a coach. Sometimes, something just needs to be tweaked other than your coach. Keep the
you may have to have a losing season to be able to get back into it. But
yeah, that's what kind of sucks about the way the draft works. The shitty teams are rewarded.
well, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like Pittsburgh problem, not a Detroit problem.
I see. It's our time finally.
All right, next game we got number 5 Chargers against the number 4 Texans. To me, in the AFC side, this is the most exciting game coming out of the AFC.
I think it's because I think it's potentially going to be the closest.
It's going to be the closest. 2 teams. I got to give it to your boy, even though I don't like him. I think Harbaugh is going to. I think the Chargers is going to win. I personally would like Houston to win, but I think deep down that the Chargers are the team that's going to come away with this. It's going to be a close game.
So you're saying Stroud is going to be? He's about to be 0-3 against Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So bring it back there. Ohio State there.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah. Any chance I get?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think LA is going to win this game. It will surprise me if Houston does pull it out, but Houston's been shaky all year.
Yeah.
They've had moments, but they've been shaky all year. I think the Chargers play like that brand of football that translates in the playoffs. They run the ball, they play good defense, they have a good quarterback. I don't expect the Chargers to advance very far in the playoffs other than this game, but I do expect them to win this game.
No, cool. Let's see. Because if looking at it real quick, if we go off who we said, we got the Bills, Ravens, Chargers winning, and that would mean the Chargers would be playing Kansas City next week because they would be the lowest.
Yeah.
So they're done after they're losing in the divisional round.
Yeah,
more than likely.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate for them, but
that'd be a fun matchup in the playoffs because the Chargers played the Chiefs tight this year, and it was that
everybody played the Chiefs tight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So who knows? You never know. You could see an upset there, but I don't see the Chargers, and I don't see them making a huge run. But
well, let me ask you this really quick. Out of those 3 games in the AFC, like who? And I can't really say like the Chargers in Houston, like there's an upset, like there's a potential for an upset, but I think those 3 games, yeah, they're pretty close. Who do you think could potentially upset the other team?
I think the Steelers could upset the Ravens.
Okay, I agree. I think that's the closest too.
Yeah, I don't think the Broncos even stand a chance.
Yeah, I don't either. That's going to be an ugly game, I think.
All right, let's go NFC time.
Yep.
All right, we got the number 7 Packers versus the number 2 Eagles.
Yep.
What do you got for this one?
I got Philly.
Yeah, I got Philly too. I think Philly easy.
Yeah, the only thing that was kind of pushing me in the opposite direction just a little bit was, Hurts has been out. He had a concussion. Yeah. Barkley was a little bit banged up, but those guys are going to be back. Those guys are going to play. And on the flip side too, the Packers, Jordan Love, I can't feel in his throwing hand or whatever.
Yeah,
he was knocked out. So I
think this is one of those games. Eagles are up by 2 possessions throughout the entire.
I think so too.
Yeah, it might end up by 7-10 points, something like that. But I feel like the Eagles are always going to be winning.
Yeah.
It's not going to never really be a competition.
What's funny with Green Bay now, they lost last week in Chicago, right? They were 1-5 in the division this year. Green Bay used to have that advantage of playing in the cold. They don't have that anymore. Like the Lions went into Lambeau this year, earlier in the year, when it was cold and rainy and shit, beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Chicago in Chicago this past week. They're going to have to go to Philly this next weekend where it's going to be cold as hell. I think you're right. I think this could potentially be like not close.
Yeah. This could be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next game, the number 6 Commanders versus the number 3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. To me, This is the game I'm most excited about out of the whole entire weekend.
Yep.
It's my favorite NFC matchup. It's my favorite matchup all weekend.
Yep.
Commanders, Bucks.
Yep.
I don't care what you have ranked as the 6-3. I think this is going to be a solid game. You can't deny what Jaden Daniels have done this year. You can't deny what Baker Mayfield has done this year. These two quarterbacks are going to be fun to watch this weekend.
It's in Tampa. It's going to be warm. Yeah, somewhat warm.
Right. But I'm going to say the Bucks take it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got the Bucks too. But I flip flop with this game because I could see the Commanders winning this game.
Yes, me too.
The Commanders defense is but they do have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
It's a tall task for a rookie to go in and win a playoff game like this, but
on the road.
Yeah. But it is played in Florida, which probably would help them a little bit in some sense.
Yes.
But I'm really excited for this game. I'm glad it's a Sunday night game where I can actually sit and watch it. But I got the Bucks too.
I got the Bucks winning, but this is one of the game I want Washington.
Sure.
I want Washington to win, but I think the Bucks got it. Then in the last game of this season, last game of the weekend, the number 5 Vikings versus the number 4 Rams. I hate both these teams. I just absolutely hate these games. Can both teams lose? But I think the Rams are a scary team right now, to be honest. And most people know I'm not a Stafford fan. I was never a Stafford fan. I think he was here. But I can't deny when people are due credit. And I think the Rams win this game, and I think they win this game. Not blow up, but easily. I feel like I feel like it's going to be similar to the Eagles Packers, where they're just always going to be up.
Like Minnesota's always trying to play catch up, and just never ever gets there. Yeah, I think that's possible. I think the Rams are going to win. I feel like you said earlier, like Minnesota lost twice. They lost this past weekend, and plus the Rams and Vikings actually played earlier this year, and the Rams beat them.
But that's right. Yeah.
And I think that game was in LA. So I expect the Rams to beat them. They got Cooper Kupp back. They got Akua, they're well coached too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stafford can still sling it. Like, I don't care what anybody says. He can still sling it. I think they're gonna touch him up pretty good.
And you asked me on the last podcast or within the last couple podcasts, we were doing our power rankings, and you asked me, who outside of my power rankings do I think would make a run in the playoffs? And I said the Rams. Now, hopefully their run is just one game, because if the games go how we haven't predicted, what we're saying, that means they'll be playing the Lions next week. So that run should hopefully is just one game. Okay.
Well, think about it. Like, okay, so if the Lions have to play the Rams again, that means they would have to beat them 3 times in a calendar year. Like,
so I know we had to play the 49ers, but okay, take that game out from last year. There is a solid chance that we play the Rams, and then we go play the Bucks. I guess just repeat from last year. I mean, obviously, let's see what happens, but there's a chance he's playing out.
Yeah,
which
that's crazy to think. Wow.
So we went through our predictions. All right, we got what we want. We'll come back. We'll check these. We'll run back next week and see how well we did. But taking away what you think is going to happen, what we're predicting, who would you like the Lions to play in the divisional round?
The Packers. The Packers, because I think we beat the shit out of them again. But,
and that's a fair. That's a fair, because that one, that means we the number 2 seed out of the way.
Yes, yeah.
And so I'm not mad at that. I mean, Packers would be nice,
but that's a tall task. But I mean, you never know. Because Philly has that like dysfunctionalness kind of going with them. I've always kind of have that lingering with them. So
because the only options are the Packers, Commando. So here, it'd be easy to say this: we will not face the Eagles or Bucks. That's out of the question. Right, then those two we just cannot play because of the seed. So the other 4 teams are the potential. So out of those 4 teams, you'd rather play the Packers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Packers, then probably after that would be the Commanders.
Yeah. So I'm not hating on the Packers. So I agree with you with the Packers, as just because I think we would kick the shit out of them. I kind of looked at it from can we play a new team?
So yeah, sure.
So I would like to play the Commanders. I think it would be a fun game. I think we would handle them very well, but it would be cool to play a new team. I mean, watch them play Green Bay for the third time. Watch them play the Vikings for the third time. Like, beat you twice.
Yeah.
And we beat the Rams earlier this year, and it ain't in the playoffs. Like, do we want to play me? So, I mean, I get how this is probably going to play out. I'm just looking as, like, can we get a new team in there?
Yeah.
Can we watch a new team? So I would go with Washington, but obviously Green Bay would be. But I honestly think we'll be facing the Rams. So I think that's who it's going to come.
You're probably right. Well, let me ask you this: who do you, out of all those teams we've kind of listed, who is the team you'd like to play the least?
The Rams.
The Rams.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I'm not afraid of Minnesota. The Bucks. I guess we wouldn't even play the Bucks. Aren't a question yet. Who's the other team? Oh, the Commanders. Yeah, I'm not really scared. I mean, I'm not even scared of the Rams. I just think they're just rolling, right? And you know how that goes, right? With any team, you get rolling, and you can be unstoppable at some point. So
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good matchup.
I think so too.
I think it'll be similar to last year's game. I mean, last year was no easy win for us to beat the Rams.
No, it wasn't easy at the beginning of the year too. We had to beat them in overtime.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I still see the Lions, coming out of divisional round winners. But it's going to be tough. You see the Rams, you're like, all right, well, this is going to be a pacing back and forth behind my couch all night long type game. Versus you get the Packers and I can pull an Aaron Glenn. Man, go ahead, sit back and just chill.
Yeah. I hear you.
Who do you least want to face?
Oh, the Rams.
Yeah, I think that's
because you know what? If the Lions have to play the Rams again, like I guess I would still pick the Lions to win. But like, if you like came to me in the future, like, dude, I'm sorry, but the Rams actually won, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I get it. Because third time, Stafford, McVay, I know people don't like him. He's a damn good coach. Receivers,
you can't deny him. Yeah,
they're damn good. They're a pain in the ass. So yeah, I don't want to play them.
No, well, let's just go Commanders.
Yeah,
just go Commanders.
Yeah,
go get the win, because if you Commanders are packed, you have to win. Then that's who we're playing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to see Minnesota again. I don't want to play the Rams.
You're right.
So I'm all in on Washington and
that would be a fun watch. That would be a fun watch for sure. Likewise.
All right, and then we'll come back next week and see how we actually did.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we're gonna close this out with this week's Stud and Dud. This was a tough one.
Yeah, because we had it's been a while since we've had a recording. There's been a lot of things going on. So yeah, I hear you.
So, all right. What do we want to do first? Our duds?
Yeah, let's do our duds. Go ahead, give me your dud. No,
okay,
mine.
So I'm back and forth on this. I'm going to stick with my original dud, and that's the NFL broadcasters. You guys are duds.
Yeah.
It's the last 2 weeks. Listen, I'm going to call myself out. I beat up on our defense a lot.
Right.
I said that, I didn't know how well we were going to do, but that never meant that we couldn't win a game. I said we just had to put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
And that's what our team does.
Yeah.
So for these broadcasters to come out the last couple of weeks and just not pick us and just dog us.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what's on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving them a dud. Right. And I think last weekend shut them up.
Yes.
0 touchdowns, 9 points we gave up.
And the Lions have done this a few times now where it's just like where they're not, their backs aren't against the wall, but the pressure is on them.
Yes.
To come through. You know what they do? They just come through like Stone Cold Steve Austin in like a WrestleMania and start bashing everybody over there.
That's right. Exactly.
And knock everybody out.
Exactly.
So like, that's what they do. It just adds more faith that I truly believe that this team is getting it done.
Yes.
This team is going to get it done. Sometimes there's things that happen that you can't necessarily explain. It's just like, it's destiny.
Exactly. Yes.
And I know I'm a Homer Michigan Wolverines fan, but this team compared to last year's Michigan team, there's some similarities. Like Michigan was on this path last year that they were not going to be denied, regardless of what happens in the game. Even like that Minnesota game, Goff had 2 picks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Vikings didn't turn the ball over at all, but we still found a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We find a way regardless of what happens. In the Michigan-Alabama game last year, Michigan looked like shit kind of for most of the game. And then at the end of the game, they put together this 2-minute drive, do it just because they figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, broadcasters. Yeah. Get out of here. What do you got? Dud? Well, I'm actually the dud myself.
Whoa, self-dud.
Those are rare. My therapist has once told me, it's like, accountability, honesty, that's the key. So I'm going to roll with it. And that's kind of what I'm feeling, because I doubted Sherrone Moore. I'm going back to Michigan, deal with it. And then also too, because over my holiday break, I watched the Ohio State and Oregon game, and secretly, I didn't tell anybody this. I'm telling you now. I'm telling the world.
I was going to say, you're just going to tell the world?
I don't know. Well, I secretly wanted Ohio State to win that game, and I'm really disappointed in myself, so I'm cutting myself.
Okay.
And I'm also going to, in the Jets organization, they're not attention, but myself, I'm the dud.
Yeah. Well, my honorable mention, the Vikings organization were trying to buy seats for us, and you still just saw a glimpse of fucking purple. But, all right, you know what? Come right in, you're right. You've done it yourself. That's tough to do.
Yeah.
That is tough to do. So
yeah.
Hats off to you.
Yeah.
Hats off to you.
Yeah.
All right. It's time for the studs. All right. So, mine's kind of a group, but it all kind of falls into the same category. So, my stud is the 4 guys on the Lions, Gibbs, Demo, J-Mo, St. Brown, for all of the 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah.
Right, we talked about this earlier in the show. They're one of, less than 10 teams to do this. The first team to ever do it with 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers. So those 4 are my studs of the league. It's just impressive to have offense. Those guys get 4,000 yards. Like again, earlier we talked about this. And there are so many people to choose from, and who I wanted to give that to, but I'm giving it to those 4 players. They deserve it.
Yeah, I hear you. That's a great one. It's just crazy when you look back at 2020 and then you see where this team is at now. Like, yeah, it's like a miracle. So
yeah,
no,
exactly.
That's a good one.
All right, who do you got?
I'm gonna go AG, Aaron Glenn. Stud. He
Aaron Glenn, just chill.
Yeah,
straight chilling.
Yeah, he deserves it, man. He deserves it. Take some time off, take a break, go to a Pistons game. Well, he didn't do that.
Oh, standing ovation for him there. That's awesome.
He deserved it, man. What a game plan. And he's kind of done it all year. I mean, like, they've been obviously all the injuries, but he's come up with these adjustments and game plans throughout the year, and completely shut some of these offenses down, and he did it again. So I do want to give a couple honorable mentions, because
absolutely,
if that's cool, JD Bickerstaff, the Pistons, and then I guess you could kind of give it to, I'll just give it to Todd McClellan. I can't talk for the Wings.
He deserves it. I mean, he came in, he put this team on a hell of a winning streak. They're trying in the right direction.
Yeah.
What did he say? Just play fucking hockey.
Yes.
You've done it your whole life.
And since then, they've really responded.
Yeah.
So that's cool. The Pistons were over 500. They won 14 games last year. And now they're, 19 and 18? I mean, I know they're not world beaters, but they're playing damn hey. And it's proud out. You got to start somewhere. Yeah, that's huge. And I'm going to give Gore some credit, too. Like, he did screw this team up, but he admitted, cleaned house, paid these guys off, got rid of them.
Yeah. You know why? And that's because I gave him a dud earlier this year.
He heard that.
He heard it. I always say, okay, good.
He's driving around in his freaking spaceship, and he's like, all right, I better listen to the radio. I better
listen to what these mics got to say, because I can't be going around being a dud.
Yep, can't be doing that. So,
no, I like those are all good ones.
Yeah,
all good ones. That was a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
This was a good one. I am excited for playoff football.
Me too.
Let's see this weekend. We can just kick back, relax. That's what's so nice about it. Taking a bye week off. I'm treating it like a bye week for myself. My heart, my feelings, my anxiety. It's a bye week off this week. We get to just watch some football.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. It is what it is, and it's gonna be fun. But this was a fun show.
Was a good show. Yeah, good job, Mike. I'm gonna give you a
high five.
Yeah, no, that was fun. We'll get back next week. We'll go over our predictions and find out what team shit the bed or
And we'll see who's our Detroit Lions are playing. Oof. And we can break down that game next week.
next week.
Check back and listen for. Thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, we love all you guys, and enjoy the bye week.
Yeah. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Go Detroit. All right. That was a fun episode.
That was a really good one. I feel like that when we were just talking more and just having fun.